Feels pretty good. What's happening, y'all? And welcome to another segment of the Nothing But Net Hooked on Hoops podcast brought to you by Hoops Flicks Plus. I am your co-host, Patrick Pratt, along with my co-host and my backup in high school, Dinos Trigonis. And today our guest is going to be Charles Campbell from DFW Hoops, and he's going to be reviewing the Frosh South Camp, Pangos Frosh South Camp 2025 that just took place this past weekend in Dallas. So welcome, Charles.
And thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. So what was it like this past weekend? What was the bumper crop of talent in Dallas and who stood out, all of the good stuff? Let us know what was happening this weekend in Dallas with these youngsters.
Yeah, absolutely. First, Pangos is we're going up on 10 years. I first started covering the event back in 2014. Seen a ton of talent, tons of guards, Cade Cunningham's, Tyrese Maxey's, a lot of the best players out of Dallas in these last 10 years have come through the camp. So it's always somewhere to go to really find and scout and get a really good eye on players. This year, though, to me, it was a really special year because it was about the big men. In the All-Star game, top 30, we probably had 7 or 8 6'8", 6'7", 6'10" guys, including Xavier Young, who was just ranked top 20 player in the country, number 1 in the class in the state of Texas in the class of 2028. We also had Terrell Jackson, Carter High School. He's a USA basketball kid. This will be his 3rd time going. So it was a star-studded camp. Then we had some young guys. Normally guys come in their 20, they're 8th graders. And it's a bit of a challenge for them, but we had a couple stand out. DJ Parker looked every bit of in his class of 2030, every bit of, I would say top 5, top 10 player in the country. I mean, 6'7", 6'8", forward, kind of can do everything, has great energy, great motor. And then Eric Jackson, 6'2" kid, 2030, East Bay dunks, can shoot it, dribble it, get to the rim, attack, get downhill. So it was a really, really good camp. Absolutely, it was a really good experience.
Hey, Pat, speaking of Eric Jackson, that's an NIL agent's dream of a name.
An
Eric Jackson. But H-E-I-R.
I see.
High-powered scoring guard. DJ Parker that Charles mentioned reminded me of one of your favorite players, Latrell Sprewell. He was everything. And at times, and I overheard Charles mentioning it, he played like potentially the best player at the camp, despite being 2030.
2030, wow. Well, Charles, were these bigs playing like bigs or were they playing like guards? Were they out there shooting threes or did they have post game?
Well, we saw some threes. That's just where the game is today. But no, it was really good pros play. Like I mentioned, Terrell Jackson, he's a player that's been at Pangos. He's a player that we've watched develop here in Dallas. He showed a lot of great footwork. Excuse me, a lot of good pivots, soft touch over both shoulders around the rim, finishing dunks, rebounding. In the freshman class, 2029, Felix Oakham, 6'9", long, extremely long. We're talking about knee scraper arms, defends, rebounds, block shots, rebounds out of his frame. And then there was a surprise. I've never seen this kid. He's from Houston, Caden Smith. He's at Second Baptist. His point guard is going to be a little skip this year. But tremendous big, great size, close to the basket, defends, rebounds really well out of his frame, and then hit a couple trail threes. Lucky Harbert, the 3rd, plays at Duncanville. Dinos likes him a lot. Said he was gave him a little reminiscence
of
a
camp full of special, not to be forgotten names. We had Air, we had Lucky, we also had Bebe.
Yeah,
Bebe Groom, one of the top guards there at Duncanville.
If I'd have been doing that game every time he scored, I'd have been like, "Hey, Bebe, hey, Bebe, hey, Bebe."
No, Bebe played really well. He's known primarily as a shooter, where he plays at Duncanville and what he did last year at North Crowley is primarily a shooter. But at camp, he played a lot of point guard, was on the ball a lot, showed the ability to slash like Coach was saying, and he was definitely one of the top guards in the camp class of 2028.
And look, going back to Xavier Young, just want to talk about where he's the school, Faith Family. I remember that they had a guy at the Tarkanian that I fell in love with. Was that Brandon Walker or something?
Yes, B Walk. He's at Mississippi. He's at Mississippi State now.
Okay, how's he been doing in his college career? I was trying to follow him, but these guys move around so much now.
Yeah, no, he's had a really good college career. Like I said, he just transferred over to Mississippi State, so he'll be on that Power 5 level. So we'll get to see what he can do. But very versatile, rebounds well, really good in the ISO. He's got a ton of moves, ton of counters. He can do a whole lot.
Man, that's what I liked. That's what I liked about him. And he had a demeanor about him that was just like, I can do this anytime I want. Made it look effortless.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Let's back to some of these guys that we saw this weekend too. Guys put up some numbers in the game right here. What's this?
You know what else I liked among the bigs, Pat, was a kid out of Houston, out of Xavier High School. Epifane Afi, guy who was constantly in motion, 6'8", terrific player. But also, too, speaking of freshmen, co-MVP of the camp, Alex Alexander, like a young Jalen Duran, active, athletic, lefty. Once that jumper becomes refined, look out, man. He's got all the tools, the length, the athleticism. And a lot of these bigs, too, that I liked about it with him. And also another good name, Nas Bell, out of New Orleans, Booker T. Washington. Those bigs, normally you get a lot of bigs that are kind of slow or still growing into the body. These guys were trying to block shot after shot, man. They were contesting. They were running the floor. There were a lot of high-quality rim runners there this past weekend. A lot of good. Then we also had Brian Hopgood out of Oklahoma City. That's the head coach there at Bristow High School.
Now, did he have any hops? Because if he would have got it done,
he had some hops, but he had the energy, and he was like, who was the power forward that blew up with the Clippers out of Louisville? M starts with an M. Louisville. He was
power forward with the
Clippers. Rugged power forward. Louisville.
Oh, you're talking about Harrell.
Montrezl Harrell. He was like a Montrezl Harrell impact guy. He was running, jumping, banging into people, finishing, boarding, blocking shots, dunking. He played. He made it impossible for us to ignore his production.
He did. That's one thing I will say is that he made it impossible. There was a game where he was just all over the place. And I think the defining play for him was he went and blocked somebody's shot off the top of the square, so he was definitely active, and we couldn't ignore it. In this crop of bigs, he was like, you can't ignore me. You got to pay attention.
Any KGs, any Rashids, any Webbers out there?
Well,
I think that Alex Alexander, he's he's a freshman. So like Dino said, you expect him to not really be moving. He flies up and down the court, can rebound and go, finishes in the paint, wants to dunk everything, can block it. And like Dino said, once that jumper gets right, because he hit maybe 1 or 2 threes, 1 or 2 mid-range shots, but once he actually gets it, you can see some of that 90s big man Rasheed kind of mid-range 3, play close to the basket, get it and go type deal. You can see that.
Right now, the jumper's a little bit like Mike McGee, kind of a frozen rope at times. Once he gets a little bit of arc on that jumper, look out, man. He's got to be a top 10 to 15 guy in that class based upon potential. He's got a right chance to be in that top echelon. Speaking of guys that you were talking about, Pat Long, Cameron Crenshaw. He wasn't as impactful as other guys, but the length, the upside, a little bit like Jaden McDaniels of the Timberwolves. He's got the physical length and tools with hard work to be a very nice player. And, and there's also other bigs. Demarius Daniel, 6'7", Mesquite, Texas. Another guy, Lucky Herbert, was kind of more like a Carmelo Anthony, wide body, big that could shoot the three. Probably the best shooter among the bigs. Lucky
he's
Herbert.
Definitely the best shooting big man for sure. No question about that.
If I was doing his game when he scored, I'd have been like, yo, DMD. Yeah, what's up, man?
And speaking of the guards, Jabebe Groom was a problem all weekend long. Aiden Clark, the MVP of the top 30 game.
Yeah.
One of the top scoring guards there out of Houston. We had Marquez Lucas out of Aubrey. Haynes Brookhart, a 6'4", who's the wing guard that just got drafted by the Rockets out of Kentucky. The 6'4" lottery pick. Reed Shepard, Haynes
Reed Shepard, yeah.
Brookhart could be like a Reed Shepard type of wing shooter. Had some of the highest scoring games in the camp.
Yeah.
Who else here? Marcellus Luster is a hell of a player.
Marcellus Luster,
And
Michael
also
Sorrell.
the two ninth grade guards from the 3D program, Joseph Creel and Mike Sorrell.
Michael Sorrell, yes.
Two very, very promising wing players out of 2029.
I think Michael Sorrell, when we talk about in Dallas, just here in Dallas, I think he might be the best shooter in the city, regardless of class. I mean, he was hitting some bombs at camp, and it's kind of automatic, gets his feet set, got great form, shoots it the same way, straight up and down every single time. He was an excellent shooter, and like you said, Joseph Creel III is, once he really hones in on that athleticism. But he's another shooter. He can shoot it from deep, plays really versatile from that wing position. And they're both freshmen.
Hey, Pat, this camp was so loaded on bigs. We moved somebody to the 60 game just because we didn't have room for him.
Wow.
And this guy, instead of responding in a kind of average or negative way, because we did the week before, 2 weeks before in Long Beach, where we allowed the two MVPs of the 60 to get bumped up. He went for 17 and 6 in the 60 game with three pointers. Aiden Bezanol from Oklahoma, kind of like a barbershop quartet mustache kind of guy. He reminds me of the white kid from Alabama that's like 28 years old. Who was a lefty 6'10" kid? I'm forgetting names today.
I don't know who you're. I can't.
No, you know who I'm talking about. The guy with the
mustache.
With the mustache. This guy had a mustache, but he was good. It probably in any other year would have been a lock for the top 30.
Yeah,
this year
so,
he was the odd man out, but he let us know, hey man, don't forget about me.
That's what you're supposed to do.
He's 17 and 6 in the All-Star game with one block.
What about Aiden Clark? He had 21 to lead all school.
Aiden Clark is shifty guard, one of the best scorers, lefty. To me, guards look so much better when they're when they're lefties.
Represent for the left.
They look so good when they're lefties. But no, he was unstoppable. Ball on the string, really shifty, creative around the rim, uses all different angles to score it. And then in the All-Star game, top 30, he had a 2-hand putback dunk off of a rebound. So it was just kind of like, he kind of showed us all everything.
Wow, 6 feet. He brings.
We also we would be remiss to not mention Kenneth K.J. Gabriel, 6'7" freshman, had a Mansfield legacy. I mean, he's had a hell of a upside, 6'7", kind of a perimeter forward.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting now as a freshman where he plateaus height wise. Does he have another inch or two left in him? At 6'9", he would be a special type of recruit, and also a guy who's very capable of being a top 100 caliber recruit with potential to be near the top of that class. A lot of good players, Pat, a lot of good players.
We see any Lamar Odoms or Derek Coleman?
Speaking of shooters, we also felt would be a mistake not to mention VJ Keshav, another freshman.
Oh, yeah,
guard.
VJ Keshav. Yeah.
Keshav, Asian Indian, American, out of Frisco Memorial, 6'2" shooter there, great student, long distance flamethrower. So we had some, the bigs were clearly the story here, Pat, but there were some guys. Eric Beard, we forgot to mention, another guy that put up good numbers out of Houston Heights in Houston, Texas, and Jordan Hopkins as well.
I was going to say Terrence Johnson out of Plano High School. He's another freshman, 6'2", real smooth operator. Really smooth from the mid-range, shoots it, kind of not in a hurry, never gets rushed. He was really solid the entire weekend. And that freshman class, I mean, it was a great camp, but that 2029 class kind of let everybody know that, we're freshmen, but we're here right now, So they made a really big statement.
And the 2030s too. Couldn't deny it.
I'm just stuck in the old school. I just want to see somebody from today play like the Doc, Julius, finger rolling, going to the hole, just taking cast. You haven't seen anybody play like him. Or Bird. I thought Cooper Flagg would be close to a Larry Bird type, but
No, he's more of a Tom Chambers type than he is a Larry Bird
okay.
type.
That's actually a really good comparison. I think he is more of a Tom Chambers than a Larry Bird. Yeah, for sure.
I thought he had a little bit more handle.
No, he's not. He's not
Ish.
wired to score like Bird or Kobe, or he's more of an all around. More of even LeBron James has the scoring title.
Right.
If we would do a purely best scorers of all time, natural scores, LeBron James would probably not be top 10.
Right.
Although his longevity, his games played, resulted in him being the top scorer. But with the game on the line, as good as LeBron is, he wouldn't be top 5 as far as top 5 natural scorers. He'd be top 1 as far as all-around players, which he is.
I agree with that.
But it's just tough to have anybody play like those guys, and they don't.
Yeah, I think the game is. We're past that, unfortunately.
Shoot Bird shooting threes.
No,
all he had to do is shoot more threes. He could still play.
Right.
Like today's game.
Yeah, I mean,
I see what you
we
mean
were
by
having a
that.
conversation on the baseline, and we were talking about just the amount of Euro steps and step throughs, and kids just don't want to play off of 2 feet. They don't want to. It's all about the things that look good versus the things that are effective. So the game is just when you're a guy. I mean, I'm like you. I like 90s basketball. I like 80s basketball, but I don't think we're ever going to go back there.
Hey, Pat,
not anytime soon.
2 weeks ago, you did the play-by-play on the Pangos All West Frosh Soft Camp.
Yeah.
Last weekend, Charles did the play-by-play.
Oh, okay.
So you guys have something in common there.
Nice.
And you can find both versions at ballertv.com/Pangos. Catch Pat's rendition of the All-Star games. You go back there or watch. You can go back there and check out Charles's editions of All-Star games too.
I'm gonna listen to him. And Charles, also, do you have a review of the camp that you have available for people to look?
Yeah, I do. You can go out on Hoop DFW, HOOPDFW.substack.com. So I'm on Substack. And I've reviewed, I'll drop another one on the wings tomorrow, but I've reviewed the big men, the guards, took a look at the 2030 class. And then, like I said, we'll drop wings tomorrow.
All right, very good. Anything else you want to add to it, Dinos? Any more evaluations or comments about what took place this weekend in Dallas?
Well, let's talk a little bit about the Nuggets in the 60 games. If we have a few more minutes here, we would be, I think, not thorough if we didn't. Guys that I liked in that 30 and that 60 game that I thought, number 116, Sharif Kareem, the second, had maybe the dunk of the camp. Pat, you might have seen it.
Yeah.
Sharif Kareem, the second. Derek Gray was good. Dorado Bailey, we let the 6'10" guy.
Yeah, from Madison. Yeah.
On Madison, who was actually very, very good. B. Bezenall, we talked about. We moved Braylon Manning up.
Braylon Manning.
The little guard from Waxahachie.
Yeah.
And actually, Charles, Pat is originally from Lake Charles, Louisiana.
No,
right?
Morgan City.
Morgan City, Louisiana.
My dad's from there. My dad.
So he's got a little bit of a southern flair to his basketball perspective there.
Pat, got a quick question. Is the better food in New Orleans or in that Lake Charles area in Louisiana?
Well, New Orleans is where it starts, and all of the rest of the places kind of like branch off from New Orleans for my experience. So it's all the same. Anywhere you set foot in Louisiana, they're gonna be cooking some boudin, some shrimp creole, some gumbo, some jambalaya, all of that. So anywhere you go in Louisiana, you good.
I was just wondering because, folks I went to Southern University, so I was in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
So I know all my friends from Lake Charles always holler about Lake Charles has the best food in Louisiana, Central Louisiana, and that all of that. So
well, all the little cities gonna try to claim that they're the best. So
Hey, Pat, speaking of New Orleans, Louisiana, another top 60 guy that came very close to making the top game that I like, Bryson Miles, 6'5", sophomore out of Booker T. Washington.
Okay.
A guy that somebody to keep an eye on. Finlay Rosenauer from Seven Lakes I liked.
I liked him a lot. I like Finley a lot. He had great energy, great pace, bouncy, finishes well around the rims, great touch. He was a really good prospect all weekend.
And also, what about our guy here? Where'd he go? Cohen LaCour out of
Yeah.
Melissa, Texas. Hard nosed, tough guy that can really pass the ball. I think he was one of the top leaders in assists from what his AAU coach told me. The Nike
Yeah, he's a
EYBL.
really tough point guard. Really tough point guard, strong body, plays well, doesn't turn it over a lot. That's how I really grade point guards. How many turnovers are you having? He doesn't really have a lot of them. Sets people up, gets people going, and he's got a serviceable 3-point shot. He does. Kenny Turner.
Also, Beckett Scott at Arkansas, 5'11", good point guard. And we had the head coach's son from Texas, Arlington, KT Turner III, that made a lot of improvement. And again, I think the theme here, some of these guys, Pat, were there the year before, but the level of improvement, like Alex Alexander, going back to him, the level of improvement from last year to now is substantial. And if you can keep that up year to year, you're talking about a special player out of Texas. And we also had Taylor Miller, came in from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Another hard-nosed, tough freshman wing player that as his quickness and athleticism improves, somebody to keep an eye on. But there's a lot of quality players here. And like I told the campers, Tyrese Halliburton came to my camp in Chicago and didn't make either All-Star game. So I think the key here is not to ignore anybody, even who didn't make the All-Star game, but especially those in the 60 game. There's been, nuggets there. I just saw a ranking, top 5, Charles, in the country. Musa Kamasoko out of New Jersey is listed top 5 in the country, and he made the second All-Star game at Pangos, All-American last year. Wow. So I don't know whether the camp was that loaded or whether we missed him or whether sometimes at a particular weekend somebody doesn't give his best effort for whatever reason, or maybe he improves a lot in a month or two. So anybody in the 60 game, I'm not ignoring, Pat, long term.
Okay. And I see, even though it was in Dallas, you had people traveling from New Mexico, from Maryland.
Yeah, we had about 10 different states,
Georgia,
represented, which we normally have.
I was going to say, Jamal Azuna, he's in Florida now, but he's from Anchorage, Alaska. 6'3" guard, really, really good. He's won 2 state championships in Alaska before. Coming down to, he's in Orlando, Florida at Moses and Mary Christian, but really good guard, really good scorer, has the ball in his hands, directs traffics, but really good slasher.
That's great to see. That's always great to see. And going back to what you were talking about with Alex and the improvement, that's what you have to do, youngsters. Doesn't matter where you are. Just look to improve. I remember one summer when I was young, I'd come down and play in my dad's backyard. My mom and dad were separated, so I come down for the summer. My cousin was here. I lost to him. I lost to his 2 friends. But I didn't get discouraged. Went back for school, came back the next summer, and I had worked on my game. Came back, played them, and beat all 3 of them. And, it wasn't about bragging or boasting. It just let me know that, you can work on your game yourself and keep improving like you say he did.
How come you never told me that story?
I did. You just forgot about it.
No. Now I can plug it into my camp speech now.
Okay.
I'll move the Tyrese Halliburton story out.
No, you need to keep that. That's regional.
And put the Patrick Pratt story in.
No, I got a gang of chronicles. Basketball chronicles. Yep, the straw. So, I guess that's about it then, Dean.
Okay, wrapping things up. Charles, thank you. Charles
Absolutely.
Is one of the up-and-coming guys in that area and nationally. Somebody to keep an eye out.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my eye. I got my eye on you, Charles. Man.
And remember, you can catch the play-by-play, the replay of the top 30 and 60 All-Star games, brought to you play-by-play by Charles Campbell.
On Baller TV.
BallerTV.com/Pangos.
/Pangos.
And you go back and watch the All-West camp, too. The players there.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being with us for this segment of the Nothing But Net Hooked on Hoops podcast, brought to you by Hoops Flix Plus. I'm Patrick Pratt. This is Dino Stragonis. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much, Charles.